The UK just rang in 2026, and Prime Minister Keir Starmer has a message that could shape the country's future. What did he say, and what does it mean for you? Let's find out.
Welcome to Power and Policy UK, your go-to channel for the latest news, politics and policies shaping Britain today. Stay informed, stay ahead.
As the United Kingdom stepped into 2026, Prime Minister Keir Starmer delivered his first New Year message as leader of the country, setting out his tone, priorities and political direction for the year ahead. The message was carefully framed to reflect both optimism and realism, acknowledging the challenges Britain continues to face while promising steady change rather than dramatic upheaval. At its core, Starmer's address focused on rebuilding trust, restoring stability, and delivering what he described as practical improvements to people's everyday lives. The Prime Minister began by recognizing that the past few years have been difficult for many households across the UK. Rising living costs, pressure on public services, and economic uncertainty were all subtly referenced, though without dwelling on blame or political attacks. Instead, Starmer struck a measured tone, emphasizing that the country is entering a period where progress will come through consistency and hard work rather than quick fixes. This approach reflects his broader political style, which prioritizes competence and calm leadership over rhetoric. A major theme of the message was economic security. Starmer spoke about the importance of stable growth, fair wages, and job creation, particularly in regions that have felt left behind in recent years. He stressed that economic recovery should not only be measured by national statistics, but by whether families feel more secure in their daily lives. While specific policy announcements were avoided, the emphasis was clearly on long-term planning, investment in skills, and supporting working people rather than short-term political wins. Public services also featured prominently. The Prime Minister acknowledged widespread frustration with the NHS, transport and local services, stating that people expect reliability and dignity when they rely on the state. He framed improving public services as a moral responsibility as well as an economic necessity, arguing that a healthy and well-supported population is essential for national growth. This message appeared aimed at reassuring voters that reform will focus on outcomes rather than ideology. Starmer's New Year address also highlighted the idea of national unity. He spoke about bringing the country together after years of political division, stressing that progress depends on cooperation rather than conflict. The language used was inclusive, avoiding sharp partisan lines, and instead appealing to shared values such as fairness, responsibility, and respect. This reflects Labour's attempt under Starmer to present itself as a broad national party rather than one defined by internal divisions or factional politics. On governance and trust, the Prime Minister made a clear point about standards in public life. Without referencing specific scandals or past administrations, he spoke about restoring integrity, transparency, and honesty in government. This section of the message was brief but deliberate, signaling that ethical leadership will be a defining feature of his premiership. For many voters, trust in politics has been eroded over time, and Starmer appeared keen to position his government as one that takes accountability seriously. The international context was also acknowledged, though not in detail. Starmer referred to a changing and uncertain world, emphasizing the need for Britain to be a reliable partner on the global stage. His remarks suggested continuity in foreign policy, focusing on diplomacy, security cooperation, and economic partnerships. The absence of dramatic foreign policy declarations reinforced the overall tone of stability and predictability. Notably, the message avoided grand promises or sweeping ideological language. Instead, Starmer repeatedly returned to the idea of making things work better for ordinary people. This understated approach may not generate dramatic headlines, but it aligns with his strategy of presenting himself as a serious, pragmatic leader focused on delivery. The emphasis was less on what the government believes and more on what it intends to do. The Prime Minister also spoke directly to the idea of patience. He acknowledged that meaningful change does not happen overnight and asked the public to judge his government by results over time rather than immediate transformation. This was a subtle attempt to manage expectations, particularly at a time when many voters are eager for quick improvements in living standards and public services. In closing, Starmer returned to the theme of hope grounded in realism. He described 2026 as a year of laying strong foundations, suggesting that while the impact of policies may not be instantly visible, the direction of travel will be clear. The final message was one of quiet confidence rather than celebration, encouraging people to believe that gradual, steady progress can restore confidence in the country's future. Overall, PM Starmer's New Year message reflected his broader political identity, cautious, disciplined, and focused on governance rather than spectacle. For supporters, it reinforced the sense of a government determined to restore stability after years of turbulence. For critics, it may have felt short on detail. But as a statement of intent, the message made one thing clear. The Prime Minister wants 2026 to be defined not by slogans, but by steady change and measurable improvement in the lives of people across the United Kingdom. Thanks for watching Power and Policy UK. Don't forget to like, subscribe, and hit the bell to stay updated on Britain's biggest stories.